Zhylaw here, video log number 2. Today I want to talk about YouTube, Let's Plays, and monetization. Um, if you are any sort of uploader of content on YouTube, or even if you're a game reviewer on YouTube, a blog, or anything like that, you know of all the issues that has been going on behind the scenes regarding copyright and copyright laws in the United States and licenses for video games and the right to make money off of playing video games. It's an interesting topic, and it's one that I am currently dealing with, as anyone in this field would be. Basically, when you play a video game that you bought, and you stream it, whatever, or you just make a cool video of you playing the game, doing something crazy, with you talking on it, not talking on it, showing your face, and then you want to put it on YouTuber, and you want to monetize it, otherwise known as try and make a few cents, a dollar, whatever. Back in the day, YouTube didn't really care, and YouTube doesn't really care today either, but they bend over at a moment's notice for copyright holders. And that's understandable because they're not, going to assemble a crack legal team to deal with lawsuits constantly on your behalf. So if someone sends a cease and desist to them, they send it to you. And they even have some automated, and automated makes me nervous, system where it scans videos for all sorts of content. I'm not talking about music videos or songs or movies, but it scans for video game related paraphernalia even, and asks like, oh, do you have the right to stream this? And the courts have basically come out and said that if, let's say, you are the creator of Mass Effect, of your EA, and EA says we don't want anyone making a cent off of anything remotely related to our game, then if you want to do a hilarious Let's Play of Mass Effect where you're talking nonstop, showing your face even on a cam, they still have that right. And it is a bit of a decisive issue because on one hand, obviously it's their game. They created it, and to go to the straw man argument or the slippery slope, it starts with Let's Plays, and then you have people making comic books and videos and T-shirts with this copyrighted material, making money off of it. Let's Plays is just the beginning, and even if it stops at Let's Plays, you're basically just making money by playing the video game that they created. And when you purchase games in today's modern era, you're only purchasing a license. You don't actually own the game. Of course, on the other hand, that's freaking retarded. I'm sorry. When I buy a game, it's my game. I own it now. And I should be able to do whatever I want as long as it's within the game itself. Now, whether or not you can make a profit it's a little more complex. But there's a difference between printing T-shirts or selling fan fiction novels with Commander Shepard having a gangbang and making money just playing the game and adding your unique spin to it, But regardless of where you stand on the issue, and honestly, even as a content creator, I understand where the developers and the publishers are coming from. It's not a one-sided issue. What I do take offense with and what irritates me is YouTube itself, or should I say Google. They don't wait for publishers or game studios to take offense and request that things taken down anymore. They don't keep a list. You'd think they'd have a department just in charge of video game material. They don't have a list anywhere of studios that allow monetization and studios that don't. They just don't give a shit. And what happens is they kind of, almost at random, will tell you, provide proof of that you have licensing. Basically, they want you to do the legwork. Like you're gonna get in touch with EA. Like it's so easy to get an official written letter from somebody over there, EA with power. Like they're gonna waste their time if you send an email to EA. If you're lucky, you're just gonna get a fluff paragraph, which will be worthless. And even if you can get a response, are you gonna do that for every single video game? And it could take weeks to get a response. I don't see why YouTube doesn't just have a repository where publishers can opt in and list, what's allowed and what's not, and we as providers could just go to this list and say, oh, EA says yes, oh, this studio says no, and then we know not to waste our time, or oh, this game's okay, so I can create a let's play, or anything like that, or use that game footage and monetize it. Instead, it seems to be enforced so haphazardly, and it's just like if you're lucky, you could skirt under the radar, or if you say the right words, if you know what to type in your description of your video, then it's okay, and people who might not be as lucky or articulate get lucked out, even if the actual content is the same, and that's stupid. I think regardless of whether or not you agree that copyright holders get the final say on monetization of any sort of video game footage, like whether you think that they should or should not, I think anyone would agree that the way Google, aka YouTube, enforces it is just really stupid, lazy, and half-assed. So, I don't know. I'm just bringing to light and this issue and causing some discussion and some musings. I thought it would make an interesting little video log. I will continue to create Let's Plays of games that I beat on my Twitch channel, and I will leave them up. And if YouTube says you can't monetize it or something, I'm still going to leave them up, because part of creating is not just for money, it's for the pleasure of creation and for sharing with other people. And I'm not going to take that away, take my ball and go home. And if every other video gets approved and every other one doesn't, then so be it. And at the very least, as a Twitch broadcaster, not just a YouTuber, hopefully people that enjoy some of my video content, monetized or not, will come to my Twitch channel. Whereas I hope in the long term that could be profitable as a form of marketing and PR. Another issue connected to this, but not the same, is music in video games. In this day and age where everyone's trying to make money and copyright everything, music soundtracks for video games are like sold separately, and the like celebrities, these people, the people that make the video game music, and they want their tree fitty. And now it's like you get copyright claims on YouTube videos for video games, not because it's a video game, but because of the music. But the music's in the game. And I've had this multiple times. And I'm not even talking about licensed big music like with vocals and stuff, pop tracks or rock, that they will frequently have in the credits. No, I'm talking about music created specifically for the video game, which has no vocals. And it pops up copyright claims for that music. Yes, no shit. It's the music in the game. You're playing the game. This is what happens when YouTube has an automated system, and this is what happens when copyright gets crazy. So what are you supposed to do now? Oh, you can monetize video game videos, just make sure the music's turned off? Like, if it should be under fair use. If the game has the soundtrack built in, if you're playing the game and the music plays, that's part of the game experience. And again, I think this is really weird. I had to re-edit and recut a video because during a boss battle, I tried to upload a Dead Space 2 video, and during a boss battle, some song played for like 20 seconds. All right, it was just in the background of the and it was game music. The name of the song was "Nice Rig, I Want to Kill You" or something. even the name of the song was a Dead Space allusion. Obviously, it was original music for the game, and it flagged. It flagged on YouTube like copyrighted music. I'm like, what the fuck? Yes, this is the game soundtrack. I know it's playing that song. It's in the fucking video game. So I had to cut out that entire boss battle and re-edit the footage and put it back on. I could have contested it, disputed it as fair use, but I don't need to deal with that shit. So I had to cut out that boss fight and I re-uploaded the video and now it's okay. I had to literally just cut out that chunk because that song just played for the boss battle. And I don't know what it is. Like none of the other music in Dead Space 2 was like, oh, this one song from the boss battle. Red flag. And I've tried to dispute with YouTube before. It's hit or miss. It takes forever for them to get back to you. And it's just too much stress. So yeah. So like not only do you have to worry about issues with permission to show video game footage, to monetize it, copyright, blah, 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 blah. But now you have to worry about the official soundtracks for video games. Like, oh my god, you're playing a video game and it has a song in it that's copyrighted. And it's like, oh my god. So, yeah, it's an interesting issue. I work around it by chopping up videos as necessary for certain songs. Because I have enough to deal with just worrying about getting permission to monetize regular video game videos. I don't need to worry about music as well. But it's just, again, it seems that YouTube is lazy and cheap. And it has nothing to do with whether or not people should be able to monetize video games. It just seems that YouTube doesn't want to go through the effort of having some sort of, robust system in place to know what games you can, what games you can't, or a method of having a specific approval. It seems just kind of lumped in, very haphazard. And I really wonder how many people they have at YouTube working on this whatsoever. So, it's just whether you want it, because they're automated. They have an automated validity checker. It's an automated program, and it works so poorly, really poorly. It's a piece of garbage. Would it kill them to have a website where you could look and publishers could have a list of every game you're allowed to monetize footage from? Would that be so difficult? And then it would be so simple. You look, if the game's not there, just don't do it. If it's there, you're okay. If you monetize a video game video and like, oh, it's a video game, you're like, yes, but according to the website, it's there, everything's fine. And if it's not there, then they take it down. It would make it so simple. I don't know what they're doing over there at YouTube. Seems very bizarre to me. Because it's not like publishers don't talk about this. This is very much in the news now with Nintendo being all ham-fisted and saying, fuck you. And Square Enix with the Final Fantasy debacle. Like, oh, nobody can stream our game, not even when it's released. So it's become a thing where all these other companies have gone on record and said, if you want to make money playing our games, go for it. Like a whole bunch of studios have said that because they see a weakness in the big studios, so they're trying to, make themselves look different. And they understand that any PR is good PR. People see a Let's Play of their video game, and they're like, ooh, this is a cool game, and then they go and buy it. But if a game company doesn't want you to monetize a video, I'm not even saying that they shouldn't have that right. Like, that's fine. But there is no concrete list. And YouTube just saying, oh, it's up to you, contact them, get a letter, is just ridiculous. And those are my thoughts on the issue. Thanks, team.